All right, new deck profile from Team OTK. Um, this is my buddy, Mr. Robinson himself, and we are doing a deck profile of Nekroz Kaiju's. So here we go.
Yeah, so I got a little bit of inspiration from Botang. Shout out, you guys, innovative as ever. Um, but I do things a little bit differently. Some things that I saw I wanted to, kind of expedite the process, speed the deck up a little bit, and I saw some other utility in with the cohesion with other cards. So with the standard 3 Valk, because it's Valk, once again, great for draw power. Um, Make sure you don't have to run any backward to protect yourself, whatnot. Nobody really is running anything meta that stops your Valk right now, so it's all good. You need to run 3 Colossalus. Now, with the recent hits to the deck, that you need 3 Colossalus to search out your mirrors, your kaleidoscopes, and your Nekroz ritual cards. He's essential right now, especially with the way the format is, where you have a lot of BA going around. I've honestly tell you the truth, I've won games just by Colossalus itself. I've had a lot of scenarios where you just have Colossalus, and when you stop, you'll be going first. You stop that first BA push. It's pretty much game. I mean, if they can't really mill anything to get themselves back into the game, especially if you have Valkyr Maxi in hand, Colossalus just creates so many bad matchups for things that rely on the extra deck, including the extra deck Monarchs that are going around. Colossalus has just been owning these. You just need Colossalus at 3. Double Trish. Look, this is pretty much the bread and butter of the deck. You're going to Trish them. That's the point. Self-explanatory. He cripples pretty much everything he faces. When you get your Trish off, it's pretty much a done deal. I don't think I've had one game where I've got Trish off and lost. So that goes to show you what Trish is, how effective he is still today. And there's other things we can do with Trish. We'll get into that later in the video. Of course, 1 Brio, because he's at 1, and 1 Unicorn, because he's at 1. This should come back to 2. I really honestly think this going to 1 was a little bit steep on Konami's part, but then again, you know how Co-Money does. They just want to sell the next product. This can stay at 1. I'm a Nekroz player, and I'm telling you this right now. Unicorn can stay at 1. Completely vanillas everything from the extra deck. It's easy to summon, and this is what you honestly get majority of your pluses off of with the deck. Unicorn. So, I mean, this can stay at 1, and it's recyclable. This can stay at 1. Triple Maxi. You need Maxi. This format, Maxi. Honestly, tell you the truth, Maxi wins games. Not just because of the drawing power, but because your opponent is sometimes hesitant to even put up enough of a board to be able to stop your next turn, especially if they know they can't OTK you then. And especially with this deck where I can draw into security blankets, like I quite frequently have had situations where I would not have anything on field to stop my opponent from OTKing me. But I drop the Maxi, and they know that they have to make essential summons to be able to do so, and I draw right into a Valk, whatnot, plus 2 or 3 valuable cards that honestly go back and win me the game afterwards. So yeah, Maxi's at 3. I'll run a little bit different. 3 Manju. I only run 2 Senju. You don't need 6 Jews. You really don't. Not with the build that I'm running. You just do not need 6 Jews. I side a 3rd one just in case I feel that I'm not seeing things enough, or I want to make more rank 4 plays. But you don't need 6 Jews. I see majority of people going to do that. In fact, I believe anybody who's doing anything in Nekroz is going to run 6 Jews. 3 Manju and 2 Senju is all I run, and I personally think it's all that's necessary. I do run basically 3 engines in this deck, and I hit claws that don't have space because I do want to keep it 40. I thought about making it more than 40 because I was still having good consistency then, but I thought 40 is going to be the way I was going to go, and 6 Jews is just not necessary in the deck. Since we don't have Shirt anymore, this guy has been amazing. Gishki Shadow. Gishki Shadow allows me to pretty much wombo combo with anything that I have, as long as I have a ritual monster and a ritual card. This right here is, honestly tell you the truth, this is what really gives my deck a lot of its synergy. Simply because just in case I don't have certain level matchups to summon my monsters, Gishki Shadow lets me get them off, and Gishki Shadow is one of the cards that makes me make a lot of residual plays and completely flood the field with Nekroz monsters if I want to, simply because he is treated as the whole tribute. He doesn't give you the recursion that sure it does. Obviously, you don't get the search off of that for any warrior type monster, but at the same time, The way I run it, you wouldn't need it anyways. Obviously I probably wouldn't be running Shurit if he was still available, but this has been an app substitute. This is a great card. I'm surprised honestly more people are substituting this in. One Dance Princess. Just because Dance Princess honestly has won me a few games. When you drop anything Nekroz related and it's on the field and they just cannot respond with anything, it's pretty much a win condition at times when you have the proper setup. That and when you tribute it, you only have one Brio, only have one Unicorn, and you need to recycle those. When I banish them for like a church play with a mirror, especially with my Brio and my Colossalus, I get to recycle that right back in the deck, and that's essential. So you need one Dance Princess, just my opinion. Finally, so we're getting to the real tech, the Kaijus. I've seen a couple of people do this, but as I said, I think a little bit out of the box, and I'm going to tell you the reason why I've chosen these as my engine. So, run easy to Gamma Seal. Gamma Seal is the best Kaiju there is available, personally, especially when it's summoned to my side of the field, and we'll get into that later. I run the 2 Gamma Seal. A Kaiju that I don't see anybody else running right now, Radiant. And Radiant allows me to make instant rank 7 plays, or he just gives me a big OTK push when I want it. He creates so much advantage when I'm using him in the way I'm going to show you later that, as I said, once again, it's another thing that's just one of the games. It's so consistent. The engine pretty much recycles itself, and it searches itself. So it's just awesome. And this card's busted. This card's busted. I don't care what anybody says. This card is ridiculous. I personally don't understand why Gamma Seal. I understand Gamma Seal, and we're going to get into it later on the video, how good it actually is when you unlock the full potential of this engine. But this is absurd.
That shouldn't be a rare.
This is crazy. This card, I don't understand why
shouldn't
it's not
be a rare, guys.
Shouldn't be a rare.
Shouldn't be a rare.
Neither should Gamma Seal. So we're going to table that. Spells, 2 Twin Twister. I only run 2. I don't find myself needing it at 3. I think I ditch too many resources sometimes. I've tried it at 3. And I'll draw into the Twin Twister and I actually want to have it. And chances are, once I get that first Twin Twister off, you have to understand how the meta is going. If you're playing a good player, at least, the set should go 1, 3, 5. If people understand what I'm saying. If people are setting 2 macro against you, either they're very confident that you don't have anything or you're not running anything to get rid of it, or they're just not very good. You shouldn't be setting 2 back row in this format, not right now. It's too many Twin Twisters running around. If you're put it like this, if you're setting your assets at 2s and 4s and losing to Twin Twister, that's your fault. I've heard people talk about this card should be at 1. No, that's stupid. Stop playing like an idiot. You should be setting 1, 3, 5. That's, once again, I don't even think that's a matter of opinion. If you're setting back row and you're getting blown away by Twin Twisters, that's on you. It is what it is. I think we're in a format and been for quite some time now that we don't have Heavy Stormer, Harpy Feather Duster. So you need things to get rid of back row. People can play up to 20 traps in a meta deck, which is BA. You should be able to run things to get rid of at least 6 of them. So once again, however, I've not necessarily seen it necessary at the 3 just for me, because I find once I get past a set 2 or a set 1, or even if they set 3 and I pop 2 of them, I normally get rid of the problem card anyway. So just 2 is good. Okay, so here's my tech that goes along with everything else that opens up my plays here. Kyoto Waterfront makes my Kaijus completely absurdly busted. Playing against some of my partners here, playing against at locals, tournaments, and I'll be probably taking this to next big guy, next YCS or regional, whatever I have time to take it to. I do have an invite, but I have to, have time. I work full time in education, so I don't necessarily have time to always attend these things. Kyoto Waterfront completely makes these ridiculous. Gamma Seal turns into Cyber Dragon Infinity on absolute steroids. I can negate anything almost endlessly as long as I have Waterfront counters more than once per turn. It's anything monsters, spells, traps. Once again, Radiant, he opens up, he turns into a big OTK push or instant rank 7 play. I don't run a rank 7 monster in my extra deck, but I think that is something I will add because I have been coming up on this consistently with Waterfront, and I want to see if I can maximize that. And this is why I say this card is ridiculous. This is broken. Dre, you know how I am about using that term in Yu-Gi-Oh today. Right, bro? This is broken. This, I just removed whatever amount of kaiju counters, which is 3, I'm sorry. It's not whatever amount, it's 3 kaiju counters off of this. He completely nullifies everything. He's basically Hope Zexel with 3 heads. If anybody's seen that card in Japan, Konami, stop making crap like that. Stop letting your children design cards. Obviously we saw this with Ultimate Falcon. I don't know whether the president of Konami is letting his, 7-year-old son. What are you laughing about? Some of the stuff that's been coming out lately, it seems like somebody's kids are the marketing director or the something for Konami that's coming up with this crap. This right here, my opponent, I don't really even have to do anything drastic. I just removed 3 kaiju counters from anywhere off the field, and so namely Kyoto Waterfront. And my opponent can't respond with effects at all. Graveyard, hand, field, you name it, there's no response to this. It's continuous as it is anyway. If you don't hit it at that moment or preemptively, once you remove the counters, that's pretty much it. It's a done deal. That field's shut off. Once again, if you would have to Baylor this preemptively or something like that. Once you go to remove the counters, that's it. The field's nullified. Look that up in terms of rulings. This allows up to 3 attacks on monsters at 33. It's basically a free special summon. And I can completely wipe a field with no worry and just absolutely no drawback. With nothing to be activated. I completely shut down. I was playing against my buddy's VA deck, and that was just game. He had 3 monsters on the field. He had 2 Dantes, and what did you have now? Virgil?
Yeah.
3 Dantes, Virgil, just completely wiped him. He got no pluses and no searches. That was game. It really didn't matter what he had after that point. When you get no recursion, you get some of the meta decks. This card's broken with Kyoto Waterfront.
Pretty game.
Explaining what Kyoto Waterfront is. Every time a card is sent to the graveyard, not monster card, is sent to the graveyard. So basically, you can play yourself into making these monsters busted. Whether I'm using Twin Twisters to get rid of back row or my mirrors to get my Nekroz summons on. This is going to get a counter, and so it's a maximum of 5, and I can remove 2. Now, what the beauty of it is, anytime I destroy something or wipe something on my opponent's field, it just recycles the counters. It just keeps stocking itself up. So it essentially, in a way, makes their effects almost endless. It really does. I mean, they really, these are Xyz monsters effects. You would think you don't be able to get off maybe 1 detach or 2 detach until your opponent did something about it. These are just pretty much inherent as long as I have counters to remove. And this has been so broken. I have not lost a single game with this deck so far, at all. Locals, I like 9-0'd everybody. It was great. It was this card. I don't understand why anybody was running a Kaiju engine or anything is at least running 2 of these. I don't get it. 1 Terraforming Source Stones, of course, 1 crap. I see a lot of guys run this Nekroz cycle. I see a lot of guys cutting it and just running 3 and 3 on Kaleidoscope and Mirror, which I don't blame them. But the only reason why I run it is because the Gishki Shadow allows me to get a lot of my things back from the grave. Like I one time dropped triple Trish on one of my opponents simply because I got it off. Got it back from the grave. I overlaid it into my buddy right here, Phantom Fortress, banished 1, and then Nekroz cycled again, and I got off 3 Trish in 1 turn. And this field was absolutely loaded. His hand was loaded, and it just completely annihilated that. So I run it 2 Mirror because it's just good at 2. You don't need 3 right now with this build. 3 Kaleidoscope, best ritual card in the deck right now. Finally, and then 3 Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. This card is once again ridiculous. This is what gives you all of your advantage. I'll tell you this right now. If I'm in a situation where I have a halfway decent hand in terms of my Nekroz engine, and I have Slumber and Waterfront on the field, I won. It's just nothing has been able to get over this. Especially if I go second. This deck does want to go second. If I massive board wipe with this, I want to get 2 to 3 monsters, anything like that. Come back with Kaiju Slumber. I'm going to come back here with my Thunder King, my Gamma Seal, or my Radiant, and create the mismatch. Namely Radiant, because I don't want to be able to use. I don't want my opponent to be able to use Gamma Seal's effect. Create the mismatch here, remove my counters, come back, Trish, and what it does is it protects all of your Nekroz plays. There's just nothing that they can do about it. This also, you can detach one counter whenever it's would be destroyed and save itself. This has been winning the games. That completes the main. That's 40 cards. You go into the extra deck once again. One Phantom Fortress Ellen Blathinier, or whatever we call this. Normally go with names, but not that. It's a great card. Detach, banish from anything you want. Graveyard, top of the deck, hand, field, whatever. Non-targeting. Doesn't get much better. My rank 8, I run one Titanic Galaxy. I make this a lot actually. It's not necessarily all the time, but depending on the matchup, Monarchs. This is I almost auto win with Monarchs. If I have anything, especially after I drop Trish on them, they come back trying to make a residual play. Titanic Galaxy is just pretty much won the game. It completely locks any deck that relies heavily on spells out. It's an awesome card. We run Utopia engine because, well, it's Utopia. What do you think about Utopia, Trey?
It's Utopia.
One Dweller. I might actually bump this up to 2. Once again, this is what the way the meta is right now. Monarchs, Xyz Monarchs, Domain Monarchs, Phantom Knights. Cosmo. You name it. Everything meta right now is utilizing its graveyard, and Dweller is pretty much honestly been auto win sometimes. Castel, because Castel. Diamond Dyer with Nekroz deck doesn't run it. Emerald. Wish I had another one, but unfortunately I don't. But it's Emerald. It's D'Agosto. It was $50 for a reason before it was reprinted. Kaleidoscope, and something I'll see many others doing. I run 2 Herald of the Arclight. I like to get the searches. Whether I'm summoning my Unicorn, or I'll have a situation where I'll have my D'Agosto, I recycle my Unicorn, and then I have another target for my Kaleidoscope to bring it back out. Or I'll have a situation where I'll have something like this, where I'll have in my hand the Valk and the Unicorn, and then rather any other level 4 monster, and my Kaleidoscope, and I can send one and bring out my Valk, and then get another search. So I think it helps you cycle through the deck faster. 2 Blue Eyes, simply because of this situation I just showed you right here. I either get these 2 as a mass summon, or I'll get my traditional Trish and Colossalus, and I want to be able to have both of these plays available in the deck. I don't want to have use one and then I'll have this scenario and I've used it on this scenario, or I've used it on this scenario and I don't have it for this. So 2 Blue Eyes has been working for me, and 1 Northern. On to side deck. I sideboard 1 Gungnir. Gungnir is a great card, especially if I know my opponent has a lot of things, mass removal, whatnot. Depending on the matchups, I'll side it in so I can keep my field presence going. It's been working very well for me. It's a great card. 2 Denko. This is the reason why I really only run 2 Twin Twisters, because when I sided in, I was actually thinking about maining this for a while. I don't need the 3 Twin Twisters, 2 Denko, or 3 Twin, 1 Denko. I think this is a great ratio. If you're not seeing enough back row removal, just side in 2 Denko. Side a couple maybe my level 4s, and Denko works, does its job. Another tech I have for sideboard, different dimension ground. This is honestly what has been shutting my BA matchup down. It's either keeps them from making plays or it hits them at a really inconvenient time and makes them mill to banish. It really keeps them from playing Yu-Gi-Oh! It really does, because if you're a BA player and you banish, 2 to 3 off mill, it's hard to get that back. It really is, especially when it's essential cards that you're looking forward to. It's better in my opinion than Macrocosmos because it doesn't affect me at all, because I'm only going to play it at a time where it's beneficial for myself. And I have been able to honestly in a lot of matchups just set this, make no other plays, and they either hit it with Twin Twist or I'll chain it, and they really can't play Yu-Gi-Oh for that turn, or they do and they vanish, and it's been great. 2 Storming Mirror Force. I was thinking about running 3 Drowning, but I find that 2 Storming and 1 Drowning has been better. There's been a lot of situations where this was the better card. I have had a blowout win when somebody attacked into my Drowning Mirror Force. I maxed them to death, but they thought they had the OTK. They didn't know I was running any battle traps or siding any battle traps, and they ran into the Drowning Mirror Force. I run the 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. Simple as BA, Phantom Knight, whatnot. Uh, 2 Chaos Trap Hole. This is another tech that I've been going over, and this has shut a few matchups down. Versal Prison. I run a virtual deck. Think about bumping this up to 2 or 3 in my sideboard. Because I'm running into a lot of BA, Phantom Knight, etc., whatnot. Even the Xyz Monarch deck. This shuts them down. It says that if you control a face-up monster that was tribute, ritual, or fusion summon until the end of your opponent's next turn, neither player can synchro, Xyz, or synchro and Xyz monsters cannot attack, and their effects are also negated. So not only does it keep them from making plays, it shuts down whatever they have already on field. It's been a blowout win. And lastly, 1 Decisive Armor. Decisive Armor it serves 3 purposes for me. It's a beat stick, gets over everything. It lures my opponent to a false insecurity, thinking that they normally can attack over my. A lot of times I'll leave Colossalus in attack mode and use the effect on something that they can get over it, and I'll ditch it and I'll add 1,000 and it'll be enough. Or I just use it to bait out things for back row. If my opponent wants to waste 1,500 on Solemn Strike, or waste that breakthrough skill, or waste that whatnot on Decisive Armor, I'm just really not worried about it, because I really want to focus on the Trish plays, or the Unicorn, or whatnot, or even getting my Brio out and bouncing too. It's too good of a card not to at least sideboard, in my opinion, in today's format. And lastly, 1 Instant Fusion for the Norden. I sideboard that. I don't necessarily need this all the time, but I do still keep my Norden in the extra deck, just in case I want to make it a little bit faster, whatnot. I'm not maining it, but just in case I want to make it a little bit faster in matchups, I want to keep it there inside my Instant Fusion, just in case I'm thinking that it'll be beneficial in certain matchups. So that's about it.
All right. This is Trey from Team OTK. You can follow our fan page on Facebook, Team OTK. You can subscribe to our fan page that's on YouTube, Team OTK. And you can follow me on Twitter, Team OTK Rocks, and you suck. And I'm out.
So you tell our fans, bro?